is going to Wyoming with my son McKay, Brandon, and Sean, and my friends. I loved riding dirt bikes when I was young, and I mean I was born to ride. I love riding my Swin Stingray. I loved riding my 10-speed. I loved riding my motorcycle that my dad finally got me when I was about 14. Loved it. I spent all the time I could on it. I loved riding my motorcycle. Well, I stopped riding motorcycles once I kind of got married and raised a family. And on my last child, McKay, he was roughly 11 years old. And I says, hey, if you get your Eagle Scout, I'll buy you a motorcycle. Anyway, he says, okay, sounds good. So he started working on that. And one day, my nephew, Jason, asked my son, McKay, do you want to go dirt biking with us down at the field down here in Ogden? And he said, sure. So they went and they took off and they went down there and he learned how to ride a dirt bike that day without my permission. Kind of pissed me off a little bit because I would have liked to have been asked myself, mostly from a safety standpoint. But and anyway, I knew though that if he rode it, that it would be like, oh, I want a dirt bike. And that's exactly what happened. So I thought, well, they invited me to go up to Wyoming, and I love these guys. They're my favorite nephews. Got up to Wyoming, and we were riding around. I was riding on my four-wheeler, which is four-wheelers are dangerous as heck as far as I'm concerned. They're horrible. They're killers. But anyway, I was riding around on that, and then I asked my nephew, Cole, I says, hey, can I ride your CR250 for a few minutes? And he goes, yeah, sure. So he took my four-wheeler, and I hadn't been on a dirt bike for 20 years. And started riding that dirt bike. And I hadn't ridden a CR250 before. I'd only ridden a 350 XLT Honda. I think it was an XL. Anyway, I'd ridden that, and a lot of fun. But man, this CR250 was a lot of fun. I went back that day, put up this. I had this old boat that I got for $3,500. I sold it for $2,500. I went down and bought me this really nice CR250. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful bike. Had a little bit of a hard time. I was running kind of rich and it burned through a lot of spark plugs, but I mean, it smelled like a finely tuned woman. It was a wonderful, wonderful dirt bike. Beautiful. And I just absolutely loved riding that bike. But it was a little bit powerful for me. It was a little jumpy. More than anything, it was jumpy for me. So I decided I rode a four-stroke, and I got into riding. I rode a Yamaha four-stroke, really nice bike, kind of 2006. So I rode that, and then I rode a Honda CRF 450, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want right there. So I sold my bike, my CR250, bought. I now have several. I've got 7 dirt bikes, got 2 trials, 4 CRF 450s, and I got 1 CRF 150, I believe it is. Anyway, I love the CRF 450s. Wow, they're nice bikes. But in telling the stories about dirt biking and we call it the Green Hills, the Clay Hills up in just south of Lyman, Wyoming. There's a big dirt biking area where people ride their dirt bikes on the mountains. They're beautiful, best dirt in the world. Beautiful. You can stay overnight there. People ride there all the time. Not too many people are there. It's really fun, great dirt. So I started riding dirt bikes there at the age of about 50, probably around 50, 51, something like that. Anyway, I started riding dirt bikes again, and I have absolutely loved it. I go up there one to 3 times a month. Whether I go up there and go ride dirt bikes or go hunt prairie dogs or just go out on the range and check out the different areas. I travel all over up in that area on the back dirt roads, back in the desert. I've seen coyotes. I've seen a lot of antelope, lots of deer, lots of rabbits. I've seen some really neat things. And it's very peaceful up there. I love going up there. I love dirt biking up there. And when I first started dirt biking, everybody that we started with now has stopped dirt biking. But I've only been in one accident, one small tip over, coming down off of a hill, and I had all my protective gear on. My opinion or my feeling is be sure to wear a full face helmet, neck brace, chest protector, elbow protectors, heavy leather gloves, knee and shin protectors, heavy duty boots. You're going to get in a wreck when you dirt bike, but be safe. Have the safety gear on that's necessary to help you if that happens. There's been so many family memories up dirt biking that I've absolutely loved. I love going up with McKay and watching McKay and Brandon compete. And I love watching Sean learn how to ride dirt bikes and watching those guys go up and over the hills. And it's just so much fun watching Brandon and McKay compete against each other. Brandon always thinks he's the best rider. He's getting really good, but McKay is a really good rider because he's ridden more than Brandon, but they always compete. Brandon's got a lot of natural talent. So does McKay in doing that kind of stuff. Sean likes snowmobiling more than dirt biking, but I love going up with Sean. I ask him to go up quite a bit, and he says no, but that's all right. He's got other things that he likes to do. He loves volleyball. He loves doing other things, but I have a lot of fun. We have big, huge fires up there. We've ridden in windy, rainy conditions. It's just, we've heard the coyotes yapping at night. It's just been great. We like fireworks up there, but it's the best dirt that I've ever found to ride on.